You guys remember that one time when I recorded a whole awesome YouTube video on step 9 and forgot to hit the red button on my GoPro? Yeah, me neither. Anyway, we're gonna try it again. So first things first, I wanted to show you guys this, those who care. I don't know if you can see that or not. 5 years. And trying not to toot my own horn too hard. I am proud of myself, but I know that it was God's will that led me to this place I'm in my life, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for all you people who subscribe and watch. I'd like to think that God led me to making this channel, and I sure hope it's gonna help somebody out, whether it's now or in the future. So that being said, last step video I made was number 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. And we're going to talk about 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. Let's get to it. Like my shorts? I know someone's going to comment on that. Well, second time's the charm, right? I can finally see the red light on my GoPro. That means it's doing GoPro things this time. So I know we're in the real deal now. Anyway, making direct amends. I've been thinking hard about how to talk about this subject, because this step is by far not my favorite step. It is a hard one to do. And then when I was thinking about it, I remembered a phone call I got, it was probably 7 years ago now, out of the blue, from a friend I knew in college. What are we doing? And he was the type of friend that, he was the guy in the group of friends that I had to put up with if I wanted to do stuff with the rest of them. Let's put it that way. He wasn't a good friend to me in particular. Anyway, 7 years ago, he calls me out of the blue and says, "Hey man, how are you doing?" And, you know, just chatting. I said, "Oh, good, you know, work's going good, blah blah blah." And then he starts saying, "Hey, so I'm in a 12-step recovery program, and part of the program is to make a list of people we had harmed or offended, and I put you on that list, so I'm calling to apologize." And you know, it wasn't that simple. He went into detail on, you know, what he did, how he acted, and I was just blown away by it. At first I was uncomfortable, but the more we talked about it, the more comfortable I got. But it's nice for me to be on the other end of that. You know, that was before I knew I needed sobriety as well. But for me, being the guy on the other end of that, I felt very good about our relationship after that conversation was ended. And part of what he said was, is there any way that I can make it up to you? And he lives in Arizona, I live in Colorado, so, you know, there's not really, I just wanted to get together and talk about it more is what I wanted to do. Sorry. Corn's pollinating. Allergies. Anyway, what I told him was, you know, what would be great is if you were able to come to my wedding. And he says, okay, I'll try my best to do that. Well, then I drug my feet on actually getting married forever, and I'm actually not sure where he's at now or how he's doing. I hope he's still sober, and I hope he's thriving, because if we ever get together, we'll have a lot to talk about. But my point is, as much anxiety as it takes on our end to get the apology and the amends done, it is worthwhile not only for us but for that person on the other side, because you go from thinking that, you know, this person that had harmed you really doesn't care what they did, to, man, I've actually occupied space in his mind and he cares enough to reach out. And that's a pretty big deal. It's big for sobriety, and it's big for your soul, I think. So as far as my amends list goes, you know, I had pretty much everybody in my family first. I had apologies to my mom to make, to my dad, even though there was resentments. Everybody that I had to make amends to, I had them down on my resentments list as well. And that's just kind of how it works out, because a hard resentment is actually, for years, is actually something to make amends for, believe it or not. So yeah, everybody in my family, my wife, holy cow, did I owe my wife one. It's a hard step, but it's very well worth it. And you do it and you move on, and it's what we need for that psychic change to occur. Kind of like in Christianity, where they talk about repentance, amends. There's something to that. There's something to owning up to your mistakes, and it's humbling. And that's what we as alcoholics need, is humility. That's actually what we should be striving for every day, is to be a humble person, because I, for one, have not known, I have never had that character trait to be humble without thinking about myself. And that's what you have to do when you're making amends, is don't think about yourself, think about that other person. For all you know, they've been waiting for this amend for years. And even if they don't accept your apology, that might be one that you have to wait on, and at least you planted that seed. Sometimes that's all you can do. If the wounds are too deep yet, just plant that seed and say, I'm willing to make this amend. Are you willing to accept it? And if it's no, then you revisit again later, but at least they're aware that you're ready. Oh, I forgot to mention it's the 4th of July around here. That's why the roads are somewhat empty. And although I have completed the steps, the more of these videos I make, the more I realize, especially on this step, there's some people that I can make amends to with some of the actions that I've made in my sobriety. Not in my cups anymore, but I'm still human. I still have things to apologize for in sobriety itself, because I'm still selfish. But the goal of these steps is to be able to work on that every day and improve. What's that they say? Progress, not perfection. But progress implies that you're actually doing the work. But I think that's it, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you being part of my journey, because you are. And I think we're going to get these steps done this summer. That's my goal. I don't want to rush through it, but I'd sure like to get them done. Because I'm the type of guy who really gets tunnel vision, unfortunately, when it comes to completing tasks. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna stop talking and finish up my ride. I hope you guys get to go out and ride today as well. Happy 4th of July if you're watching today. If you're watching tomorrow, happy 5th of July, and so on. Alright, see you guys.